أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum dear viewers, welcome to JemeilTv. Today we are here to study the commentary of Surah Almasad, the Fibre. Let us start as usual from its introduction. There are 5 ayat in this surah and it is at serial number 111 in the compilation of Holy Quran. This surah was revealed to condemn the behavior of one of the relatives of Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam who stood against his message. The surah gives a warning that those who oppose the message of Allah, they will be severely punished, regardless whether they are of the family of Prophet ﷺ or not. Where from Surah took its name? This Surah takes its name from the last ayat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم في جيدها حبل من مسد. He will enter to burn in a fibre of blazing flame. Reference triple one verse 3. Connection of the surah to the surah before or after it. Surah An-Nasr 110 is about the help and victory of Allah to His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Surah Al-Masad triple one is an example of someone who was an enemy to the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his inevitable end. Period of revelation. Although the commentators have not disputed its being a Makki surah, yet it is difficult to determine in which phase of the life of Makkah precisely it was revealed. However, in view of Abu Lahab's role and conduct against the Holy Prophet Wasallam's message of truth, it can be assumed that it must have been revealed in the period when he had transgressed all limits in his mad hostility to him and his attitude was becoming a serious obstruction in the progress of Islam. It may well have been revealed in the period when the Quraysh had boycotted the Holy Prophet ﷺ together with the people of his clan and besieged them in Shab Abi Talib, and Abu Lahab was the only person to join with the enemies against his own relatives. The basis of this assumption is that Abu Lahab was the Holy Prophet ﷺ's uncle, and public condemnation of the uncle by the tongue of the nephew could not be proper until the extreme excesses committed by the uncle had become visible to everyone. If the surah had been revealed before this in the very beginning, the people would have regarded it as morally discourteous that the nephew should so condemn the uncle. Background. This is the only place in the Quran where a person from among the enemies of Islam has been condemned by name, whereas in Mecca as well as in Medina after the migration, there were many people who were in no way less inimical to Islam and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam than Abu Lahab. The question is, what was the special trait of the character of this person which became the basis of this condemnation by name? To understand that, it is necessary that one should understand the Arabian society of that time and the role that Abu Lahab played in it. In ancient days, since there prevailed chaos and confusion, bloodshed and plunder throughout Arabia, and the condition for centuries was that a person could have no guarantee of the protection of life, honor, and property except with the help and support of his clansmen and blood relations. Therefore, Silai Rahmi, good treatment of the kindred, was esteemed most highly among the moral values of the Arabian society, and breaking off connection with the kindred was regarded as a great sin. Under the influence of the same Arabian tradition, when the Holy Prophet ﷺ began to preach the message of Islam, the other clans of Quraysh and other chiefs resisted and opposed him tooth and nail. But the Bani Hashim and the Bani al-Muttalib children of Abu al-Muttalib, brother of Hashim, not only did not oppose him but continued to support him openly, although most of them had not yet believed in his prophethood. The other clans of Quraysh themselves regarded this support by the blood relations of the Holy Prophet ﷺ as perfectly in accordance with the moral traditions of Arabia. That is why they never taunted the Bani Hashim and the Bani al-Muttalib in that they had abandoned their ancestral faith by supporting a person who was preaching a new faith. They knew and believed that they could in no case had hand over an individual of their clan to his enemies, and their support and aid of a clansman was perfectly natural in the sight of the Quraysh and the people of Arabia. This moral principle, which the Arabs, even in the pre Islamic days of ignorance, regarded as worthy of respect and inviolable, was broken only by one man in his enmity of Islam, and that was Abu Lahab, son of Abdul Muttalib. He was an uncle of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, whose father and he were son of the same father in Arabia. An uncle represented the father, especially when the nephew was fatherless. The uncle was expected to look after the nephew as one of his own children. But this man, in his hostility to Islam and love of Kufr, trampled all the Arab traditions underfoot. The traditionists have related from Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu with several chains of transmitters the tradition that when the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was commanded to present the message of Islam openly, and he was instructed in the Quran to warn first of all his nearest kinfolk of the punishment of Allah, he ascended the Mount Safa one morning and called out aloud, Ya Sahaba, O the calamity of the morning! This alarm in Arabia was raised by the person who noticed early at dawn an enemy tribe advancing against his tribe. When the Holy Messenger ﷺ made this call, the people inquired as to who had made it. They were told that it was Muhammad ﷺ. There, the people of all the clans of Quraysh rushed out. Everyone who could came, he who could not sent another one for himself. When the people had assembled, the Holy Messenger, calling out each clan by name, viz. O Bani Hashim, O Bani Abdul Muttalib, O Bani Fihr, O Bani so and so, said, if I were to tell you that behind the hill there was an enemy host ready for to fall upon you, would you believe me? The people responded with one voice, saying that they never had so far experienced a lie from him. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said, then I warn you that you are heading for a torment. Thereupon, before anyone else could speak, Abu Lahab, the Holy Prophet ﷺ's uncle, said, may you perish. Did you summon us for this? Another tradition adds that he picked up a stone to throw at the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Musnad Ahmad, Bukhari, Muslim, Tirmizi, Ibn Jarir, and others refer. According to Ibn Zayyad, one day Abu Lahab asked the Holy Prophet ﷺ, if I were to accept your religion, what would I get? The Holy Prophet ﷺ replied, you would get what the other believers would get. He said, is there no preference or distinction for me? The Holy Prophet ﷺ replied, what else do you want? Thereupon he said, may this religion perish in which I and all other people should be equal and alike. Ibn Jarir refer. In Makkah, Abu Lahab was the next door neighbor of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Their houses were separated by a wall. Besides him, Hakam bin As, father of Marwan, Uqba bin Abi Muayt, Adi bin Hamara, and Ibn al-Asda al-Hadli also were his neighbors. These people did not allow him to have peace even in his own house. Sometimes, when he was performing the prayer, they would place the goat's stomach on him. Sometimes, when food was being cooked in the courtyard, they would throw filth at the cooking pot. The Holy Prophet ﷺ would come out and say, O Bani Abd Manaf, what kind of neighborliness is it? Abu Lahab's wife, Jamil, Abu Sufyan's sister, had made it a practice to cast thorns at his door in the night so that when he or his children came out of the house at dawn, they should run thorns in the foot. Beheki ibn Abi Hatim ibn Jarir ibn Asakir ibn Hisham refer. Before the proclamation of prophethood, two of the Holy Prophet's daughters were married to two of Abu Lahab's sons, Utbah and Utaiba. After his call, when the Holy Prophet began to invite the people to Islam, Abu Lahab said to both his sons, I would forbid myself seeing and meeting you until you divorce the daughters of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So both of them divorced their wives. Mutaba in particular became so nasty in his spitefulness that one day he came before the Holy Prophet ﷺ and said, I repudiate, and then he spat at him, but his spittle did not fall on him. The Holy Prophet prayed, O Allah, subject him to the power of a dog from among your dogs. Afterwards, Utaiba accompanied his father in his journey to Syria. During the journey, the caravan halted at a place which, according to local people, was visited by a wild beast at night. Abu Lahab told his companion, the Quraysh, make full arrangements for the protection of my son, for I fear the curse invoked by Muhammad sallallahu on him. Accordingly, the people made their camels sit all around Utaba and went to sleep. At night a tiger came, which crossed the circle of the camels and devoured Utaba, tearing him to pieces. Here there is a difference of opinion. Some reporters say that the divorce took place after the Holy Prophet ﷺ proclamation of prophethood, and some say that it took place after the revelation of Tabbat Yada Abi Lahab. There is also a difference of opinion about whether Abu Lahab's this son was Utbah or Utaiba, but this much is confirmed that after the conquest of Makkah, Utaiba embraced Islam and took the oath of allegiance at Holy Prophet ﷺ. Therefore, the correct view is that it was Utaiba.